Well, in my extra 15 seconds, I just want to thank all of you for coming out to DevOps Days Amsterdam and making this a welcoming and inclusive community. This is one of my favorite DevOps days around the world. Just don't tell any other DevOps days I said that. Now, I want to take you back to 1986. In 1986, in the US, in popular music, there were rock bands and there were rap bands, and they never collaborated. And when you listened to the radio, you would either hear rap or you would hear rock. And the developers, those rock bands, they got really frustrated. They were banging their heads against the wall. The operators, the rap bands on the other side, were always angry at the developers. What is this shit you're throwing over the wall to us? We hate it. Until one day a developer got really curious. What's happening over there in ops land? And so this developer poked his head through the wall and he said, y'all are doing some important stuff. We're doing some important stuff. Why don't we tear down this wall and come together? And that's in fact what happened. They tore down the wall and they came together. But here's the thing, look at that. The rappers didn't pick up a guitar and start shredding. Steven Tyler didn't start freestyling some rap. They came together with their own specialties to please the audience, to keep the audience happy. This is the birth of DevOps. And I know Patrick Dubois was here earlier, and apologies to Patrick Dubois, but he is not the person who created DevOps. It was this gentleman, Rick Rubin, in 1996. He's a record producer who decided to bring together Run DMC and Aerosmith for the very first DevOps collaboration. And Rick has gone on to have an incredible career as a music producer. He is now a philosopher. He tweets every week about DevOps. Sometimes adversity creates an environment for good things to grow. That's DevOps. I'm pretty sure Rick Rubin has never heard the word DevOps. But what you'll see is that he tweets about it all the time. Are you following or are you leading? Does it really matter? Sounds like DevOps, doesn't it? Let's see, what else does Rick have to say about DevOps? Thinking doesn't always solve problems. Sometimes creating space allows inspiration to do the work. So this is a good reminder that when you're beating your head against that wall, trying to troubleshoot that bug or resolve that incident, just get up and go have a walk. Quality over deadlines. Yes, this is exactly what all of our managers are telling us, right? Quality over deadlines. This is DevOps, and Rick knows it. He knows all about DevOps. The beautiful thing about Rick, when he tweets, he automatically deletes his tweets also, so you have to pay very special attention to them. The reason to finish is to start something new. Even Rick Rubin knows that we should prioritize flow of work through the system, not how much work do we have in process. We need to prioritize that flow. Avoid thinking of your old work, legacy, as being better or worse than your new work, modern. It's always different. A new reflection of a new you, the result of more time. Modern microservices aren't always better than that monolith. There are no shortcuts. You have to do the work. You have to do the work. You can't buy DevOps. Someone will absolutely sell it to you, but you still have to do the work. With every piece of advice, consider sometimes the opposite is equally true. Remember everything that you've heard from this stage over the past 2 days? Maybe it was all wrong. Perhaps, but probably not. Right, Sasha? Probably not. All right, you cannot control how much work it takes to finish a project. It could be hundreds of hours, or it could be 5 minutes. The amount of time it takes is irrelevant. Also, said your manager all the time. Also, this is a great commentary on story points, right? Okay, there's a visceral reaction when you know something's good, and it doesn't have to make sense. It's not intellectual, it transcends intellect. This is the collaboration that we do with our security teams. Our path is to collaborate with what's happening, not to fight it. Stop fighting one another. Let's collaborate with what's happening. We've got to get this out to our customers. We want to drive real business value. The best pieces don't tell you what to think. This is great advice for the open spaces. If you're listening or speaking, Either way, you are participating in the conversation. So as you go to open spaces later today, keep this in mind. And I encourage you to be more like Rick Rubin. He wrote this great book, The Creative Act, A Way of Being. And it's a book all about DevOps, and he's never heard that word, I'm pretty sure. Thank you very much.